Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, still think it should have been Shimmering Pearl for 3-syllable symmetry in both titles, but that's deeply personal, are releasing in a matter of days, and you may be asking yourself which version has the best exclusive Pokemon. Well, I'm going to answer that for you according to my own biased opinion by ranking each version's exclusives against each other's counterparts. For example, Diamond's Cranidos and Rampardos versus Pearl's Shieldon and Bastiodon, or Diamond's Zangoose versus Pearl's Seviper, and we're going to do the legendaries too and keep score for which version exclusive wins that particular showdown of quality. Round 1 is Diamond's Rampardos versus Pearl's Bastiodon, the two fossil Pokemon. I personally absolutely love Rampardos. That thing hits like 1,000 trucks, though it's not particularly fast or even bulky for a rock type. Still, if you're looking for damage output, you can't do much better. Bastiodon is a walking prehistoric tank. If you like your Pokemon to require about 800 hits before it dies, Bastiodon is a defensive wall, though it still gets 4x demolished by fighting and ground moves for being rock and steel. I don't like battling defensively, so my pick is Rampardos. Score 1 for Diamond. Round 2 is Diamond's Skuntank versus Pearl's Purugly. I won't mince words here, both of these Pokemon are gross, and I've never used them because they are conceptually upsetting and aesthetically displeasing to my eyeballs. If I was a Glameow and I started evolving, I would throw myself into a river to avoid becoming that monster. I would train myself to level 37 and then retire from battling forever, whereas at least Stunky doesn't have far to fall. Skuntank is probably the better battler, but I still think this is a lose-lose situation, so it's a tie for me. Round 3 is Diamond's Honchkrow versus Pearl's Mismagius, and this one is tough because both of them are really good. Honchkrow is my personal favorite, but I really like both of them to the point where it's a tie. It's just great to see Pokemon from Gen 2, who used to be useless, get this humongous evolutionary buff. Round 4 is Diamond's Scizor versus Pearl's Pinsir. This is an easy one. Scizor wins by a landslide. Giving Pinsir a Mega was a nice balance until we got past Gen 6 and they decided to pretend Megas never happened. Now Pinsir is just Pinsir. Scyther probably would have beat Pinsir by himself, so having an evolution is just overkill. Score 1 for Diamond. Round 5 is Diamond's Butterfree versus Pearl's Beedrill. Now, I don't know who is going to get one of these remakes and use that as an opportunity to train either of these Pokemon. Even bug catchers are like, nah, I'll stick to Gen 4. But we're finally going to get Pearl on the board here because I do think Beedrill is better. But it's your preference, ultimately. Score 1 for Pearl. It's been pretty cut and dry so far, which exclusives are meant to be the alternate choices between each other, but from here on out sometimes it's less obvious, so I'm using my own judgment to try and pick comparable Pokemon together here. Round 6 is Diamond's Arbok versus Pearl's Sandslash. I've used Arbok once in a Soul Silver playthrough and was thoroughly unimpressed enough to drop it from my team later on, while Sandslash is also a bit of a mid-choice, but not as bad. It can tank some physical hits and has a decent attack stat, so it earns the win for Pearl here. Round 7 is Diamond's Arcanine versus Pearl's Ninetales. If you want something that hits fast and hard, you definitely go Arcanine. If you want something that hits fast and softer, go Ninetales. Ninetales is better for tanking special attacks and using status moves like Will-O-Wisp and Confuse Ray, but Arcanine is relatively bulky enough in its own right, alongside being a beast and having extreme speed. I know Arcanine is super popular, but Ninetales has its fans too, but I'd still give Diamond this win. Round 8 is Diamond's Shiftry versus Pearl's Ludicolo. This is totally just preference. If you're not a competitive battler making specific weather teams and whatnot, it's really not going to matter much. These Pokemon both need either sun or rain to reach their potential. Big tie. Round 9 is Diamond's Mawile versus Pearl's Sableye. Sad, no Megas. Mega Mawile is actually one of my favorites. Mega Sableye just gets a bigger gem to hide behind like a coward. Sableye fell off. Remember the glory days when it had no weaknesses before Fairy type was introduced? I mean, it still wasn't very good at anything beyond being annoying, but at least it had something going on. Mawile in this day and age has gotten better moves, but its stats are still garbo, and there's no point having one. These are two bad picks, but Pearl still wins. Round 10 is Diamond's Zangoose versus Pearl's Seviper. If you ask me, these are the coolest version exclusives there have ever been, ever since Ruby and Sapphire split them up originally. I love both of them, but I love Zangoose a little more. He's pretty fast and has real good attack, whereas Seviper has good mixed attack capability, but isn't fast and isn't bulky either. They both look so cool though. Score 1 for Diamond. Round 11 is a mulligan. Diamond's Solrock versus Pearl's Lunatone. These are the same Pokemon. Like, I know they're not, but they are. Like, they have different stats, but they don't. Pick your favorite floating rock nobody uses. It's a tie. Round 12 is Diamond's Dugong versus Pearl's Slowking. I don't think I have to tell you which one edges out the competition here. Slowking and Slowbro can tank anything, with Slowking still doing decent damage, while Dugong spends half its battles fast asleep. Score 1 for Pearl. Round 13 is Diamond's Kecleon versus Pearl's Stantler. Disgusting. Kecleon is a color-changing lizard who's always just been a gimmick, never a threat, but Stantler, disgusting, is an ugly deer abomination who should never be trained by anyone. Look at its dumb, stupid, deformed butt face and tell me you want that Santa reject on your team. The government should spy on Stantler, disgusting, users, because they are clearly up to no good. Score 1 for Diamond by default. Even a Pokemon that was dead would have won that round. Round 14 is Diamond's Tyranitar versus Pearl's Salamence. I don't need to explain that these are both terrific Pokemon, and since they were both immensely improved by the changed battle mechanics of Generation 4, now is a good time to revisit either of them and use them to their fullest glory in celebratory remembrance. I think these are both versions' strongest exclusives on an individual level, and their sheer opposing force is creating a monstrous tie. Round 15 is Diamond's Electivire versus Pearl's Magmortar, and to save you some trouble is another beefy tie, based on your preference. Round 16 is where we deal with what's left over on the non-legendary side, so we've got Diamond's Gliscor versus Pearl's Ursaring. From a competitive standpoint, Gliscor wins. Its whole Toxic Orb poison heal thing is still broken, but if your goal is just to go through the solo game and demolish all who stand before you, Ursaring is an underrated pick with a whopping attack stat. Personally, I vote Ursaring, which is where the bias comes into play, and we get another score for Pearl. Round 17 is Diamond's Mr. Mime versus Pearl's Nobody. I guess they put one more group in Diamond than they did Pearl, because I'm out of non-legendary competitors. If you like Mr. Mime, boom, Diamond for you. If you don't care, then it don't matter, but Diamond wins via forfeit. Now time for the legendaries. In addition to the box art ones, there is apparently some kind of park where you can go catch a bunch of older legendaries from previous games, and a few of those are version exclusive too. Round 18 is Diamond's Dialga versus Pearl's Palkia. Palkia looks like male genitalia, which makes its water typing all the more ew. I don't like its design at all, whereas Dialga is a certified Time Lord, baby. I don't use legendaries ever because I don't think it's fun. It's too easy, and my character's always 10 years old, so I'm not going to demean these godlike beings by issuing commands to them in my nasally, snot-nosed voice. Go, Dialga! Hurry and take him out with Roar of Time! I have homework to do! But yeah, score 1 for Diamond. Round 19 is Diamond's Big Cat Trio Entei, Suicune, and Raikou versus Pearl's Bird Trio Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. I've always thought the cats were cooler. They look more imposing. You look at a bird like, what are you gonna do, flap your wings at me? But a cat will slice your throat and lap up your entrails like it's a bowl of milk. Another score for Diamond. And finally, round 20 is Diamond's Ho-Oh versus Pearl's Lugia. I don't like when legendaries aren't offensively strong. I understand that Lugia is a bulk machine, with multiscale as a hidden ability to boot to make it even more unkillable, but watching it do less damage than Stantler? Disgusting. You're a giant ocean lord who slumbers at the bottom of the sea, and you rise from the waves and unleash an aeroblast just to hit a little bit harder than the evolved form of Bidoof. You should be embarrassed. Ho-Oh, on the other hand, will absolutely incinerate anything in its way. Its sacred fire will cleanse the world, and from its ashes a new one will take its place. Score 1 for Diamond. And if we tally all the points up, we see that Diamond wins 9-5 against Pearl like a full-time job. Pearl puts up more of a fight than I anticipated, though. I've been dead set on Diamond from the start because it has all my personal favorite exclusives, but Pearl's no slouch with Pokemon like Salamence, Mismagius, Ursaring, and Seviper. But that's going to do it for this video. If you liked what I said about Pokemon, you should watch my videos where I rank all the starters, legendaries, and mythicals of every generation, as well as every other video I've ever made in my whole life. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.